And we are live once again back at IRE 2023 Dallas, Texas. Oh my goodness. What a hell of a turnout. There's about at least 15,000 people here. There was a 4-hour wait just to get registered this morning. I don't know if it's lightened up at all. Have you guys heard if it's lightened up at all?
No, the last I saw, there's still a 2-hour wait outside to get in.
Wow. So that goes to show you that this place is bumping. Anyone who is here. So what's going on, Ron?
It's a crazy conference already. Getting to meet a lot of new people, new faces, enjoying just being here.
Right on. And Ken, correct?
That's correct.
Ken,
this is going to turn out to be a great event.
Yes, it really is, man. I mean, everyone is here. All new technologies, anything being launched, anything old that's been revamped, anything that's coming out to the market, anything from technology to equipment to tools to everything that it's here, and law firms and financing and stuff like that. And Ron and Ken here are with which company was that again?
I'm Ron with National Claims. I'm a public adjusting firm. We help property owners who aren't paid properly by the insurance companies.
Wow. And Ken, what do you do?
My name is Ken Horn. I'm with the Chad T. Wilson Law Firm out of Houston, Texas. We represent insureds nationwide for underpaid and denied insurance claims.
Okay, wow. So how did you guys meet? Because it almost sounds like it at both ends of the spectrum here. Or am I wrong?
Yeah, so Ron and I have actually worked together for a really long time. So Ron is a public adjuster, and he's usually hired by the homeowners.
Okay.
And the roofers will refer those homeowners to Ron's company. And when they are not able to conclude the file because of the insurance company just dragging their feet or it's a stale claim, sometimes, I'm one of the firms that he would recommend insurance claims to for the homeowner to contact us to see if we can try to get a resolution.
Understood. So up north, we don't have a whole lot of storm damage and things like that for us. We're more in the retail space. So a lot of this is new to me. And I'm sure those that are watching from the state of Pennsylvania or northern states up there need to know more about some of this, because I know when we do get a storm, which we had a hailstorm about 6-7 years ago, I know we could have used a public adjuster's help, an attorney, and all that thing. So what does a public adjuster do, and what does that mean?
So right now we have a fire claim up there in Kentucky. We actually have 2 of them where the insurance company paid 20 cents on the dollar for the fire claim. They did all the proper documentation, showed all the damage, and the insurance company still way underpaid the claim. And they need our help on something like that. We also, Lexington, Kentucky just had a tornado last Thursday and caused damage to properties. And when it comes to wind claims, insurance companies are not going to take the additional steps they need to in order to bring out an engineer and look at the damage. That's something that we would come in and document the damage properly and make sure that it's paid for.
Okay, so basically, if I'm having issues with the insurance company, I call you, and then you give us the advice that we need, or what do you do for the contractor exactly?
So I'll start off with giving you advice on things that you may want to do before you get us involved. Sometimes it's a matter of us reviewing the policy and seeing if they do have the coverage for what they're asking for in a claim, and just advising the contractor on what they need to do next, and or if it's already too late, you need to get us involved right now in the claim.
Come into play here at?
So once the public adjuster goes in and they put together the file and they present that to the insurance company for the payment, if the insurance company pushes back and says, no, we're not going to pay what you and your client value this case at, or they just flat out say they're not going to pay it, that's where we would come in. And at that point, once we get involved, there's really the time for negotiation is kind of over. He's done everything he can do. Guys like Ron Snoffer and National Claims Negotiators, they're probably one of the best in the business, if not the best. And so,
thank you, Ken. I appreciate that.
There you go. Yeah.
But no. So, they put together a really good file and they present that to the insurance company. So there's really no reason for us to go and do it again.
Yeah.
So what we would do at that point is, we send a demand for payment, and we tell the insurance companies, here's all the work product that National Claims Negotiators has presented to you. You've either not agreed to the value or not paid it at all. And then at that point, we send a demand for payment and give them the time in each state that they have to respond to that demand. And once they refuse or they don't, most of the time they ignore it at that point, we would file suit.
Okay.
and then at that point, the claim is no longer in the hands of the desk adjuster. It would, at that point, it moves over to a defense attorney for the insurance company. And of course, the question I always get, why does it take so long in litigation, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the reason is defense attorneys get paid by the hour.
Mm.
So they're in no rush to run down there and write that check. But, most of the time, eventually we do get the claim resolved and the homeowner or the business owner is able to get back to where they need to be. And that's really, nobody's really looking to get rich off one claim or anything like that. We're just here to, get these people back to where they're owed, what they paid premiums for.
Right.
I hear all the time, I've paid my premiums for 20 years to fill in the blank insurance company, and this is my first claim, and now they won't even talk to me.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, I have to put on the shocked face because I hear this every day. So I'm like, oh my gosh, they won't. Then what do you mean?
Yeah.
And of course, it's it's a business. They're in the business to make money, right?
Yes,
and stockholders don't like it when insurance companies are paying all their premiums out to claims.
Yes.
It's a business.
Yeah.
I get it. So that's kind of where we come in, and I would say my firm is really good at
That's a key thing in this industry.
Yeah, we're really good about communicating with the other side, communicating with our clients, keeping everybody kind of in the mix of what's going on. And we, I would say we probably try maybe less than 1% have to actually go to trial in our firm. And I can tell you that that's not because we're the greatest lawyer of all time.
Mm-hmm.
It's because we do our homework and we present things right. And we go out there and we don't let emotions get involved in all of this, because at the end of the day, it's a business. It's a contract that the insurance company doesn't want to honor. And so what we're doing is we're stepping in and holding their feet to the fire to make them honor that contract.
Yeah. No, I like that. So how often does something like this happen?
That's a great question. I think it depends on the carrier and it depends on how many claims they've had. A couple of years ago, we had those freeze claims here in the South, and carriers got swamped and burdened with all the claims that they had from all the flooding and pipe breaks and so on and so forth. So it slowed down how quickly they were paying stuff out. And I imagine there was a lot more litigation that year than there has been last year, because we didn't have as many claims in Texas or the South as we did before. But then you end up with Hurricane Ian, and that's how I ended up with my fire claim. Is my guy got the adjuster that was on that fire claim got moved to Hurricane Ian. Well, he didn't finish his job on the fire claim, but he had another 100 claims to go do in Florida. So he was never going to get the fire done.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm hearing you say, so you guys are both out of Texas.
We are, but both of us are nationwide. I'm licensed in, I believe, 20 states now. We do stuff from the Carolinas. I'll be out in California around the 26th of this month.
Okay. So not just roofing. So I got roofing on the forefront of my mind, obviously, because I'm at a roofing convention here. So you do more than roofing.
We both do more than roofing. We'll do
a lot more.
Fire, flood, tornado, hurricane, hail damage, business interruption, contents, loss of revenue.
Okay.
All that stuff.
Okay.
Right.
Interesting. Very interesting. So how long have you been in the industry?
So I've been a PA for 10 years. And prior to that, I was an adjuster, and I worked for a big national company. And I won't mention their names because we don't like to,
of course not,
besmirch insurance companies when it comes to their claims handling. But I used to be an IA.
Okay,
that.
so you worked for an insurance company. Did you see that there was a void that needed to be filled? Is that why you leaned more towards the other side?
When my supervisor started telling me not to pay for claims, I knew it was time for me to switch sides.
Okay. And how about you?
So I've been in the business for 20 years. I started on the other side. I was an insurance adjuster for a big insurance company. I did that for a really long time. I've done so many different projects in this industry for different things. And really the reason I switched sides is because I saw that, where my potential was kind of peaked out. And so I decided to switch to the other side, and I love it on this side. I love helping people. I love, the one thing that I'm seeing on the insurance industry side of our business that I didn't see when I worked on that side is the adjuster goes out to the house and they look at the damage.
Mm-hmm.
And then they say, and sometimes they say, oh yeah, we're going to pay for this roof. But then it goes back to the desk, the person you never meet, and they
Mm-hmm.
deny the claim.
That's
And
never
we
been
see,
on the roof.
right, they've never seen the loss. But what's happening is the insurance company is taking away the authority from the actual adjuster that goes out to look at, and I would assume it's only because of some sort of a compassion issue, or, you know, you show up to a loss. I see this all the time. You know, little Betty Smith, she's 88 years old. She's been with that insurance company for 40 years. Her parents were with that insurance company. Her grandparents were with that insurance company.
Yeah.
And the adjuster comes out there and he goes, yeah, your roof is damaged.
Mm-hmm.
And not to mention, you've paid premiums for 40 years. So in my day, when I was in IA, my manager would say, let's go ahead and buy Betty Smith that roof.
Mm-hmm.
But today, the adjuster has no authority. It goes back to the desk, and somebody who makes that decision says no.
Okay.
And the worst part about the whole thing is, why are we getting busier? Why are public adjusters, why are plaintiff law
good
firms
question.
getting busier?
That's a good question.
And it's because of the process that's happening. It's taking away. I can tell you right now that 20 years ago, if Ron was a public adjuster, he would have probably a quarter of the business that he has now, because they
True.
used to pay claims,
Mm-hmm.
and he doesn't now. And so, you know, it's almost sad because the insurance industry they're against us.
Yeah. Right.
But they're fueling us, and they're
Mhm.
creating us
Yeah.
by not taking care of their clients.
Yeah.
The insured is their client before it's my client, before it's his client,
Mhm.
before it's the roofing companies. It's their client first. They're
Yes.
paying the premiums. It's their client. And that's, to me, is just crazy. But
Yeah.
it's the world we live in. And, you know,
Mhm.
it's, you know, that's why we come to conferences like this, and there, you know, there's people everywhere. The roofing industry is growing. The PA business is growing.
Yes.
The law firm business is growing.
It
And
is.
it's not because of us.
Mhm.
It's because of them.
Because they're pushing back. Now,
Right.
do you think it's because people are filing more claims today? Or do you think the storms are getting worse? Do you think there's more storms? Like, why do you think this has become such an issue? Why insurance companies don't pay anymore?
I
You want
think
to
it-
start with that, Ron?
So there's a book out called From Good Hands to Boxing Gloves, kind of talks about how this industry started. And Allstate hired the McKinsey Group to tell them how to make more money in the claim process.
Mhm.
And the first thing they told them is, why are you paying so much in claims? So there ended up being a big lawsuit in the state of Florida for years on how to get those PowerPoint documentation on what McKinsey told them not to do when it came to claims handling. And they were the beginning on how to be more profitable and how to make more dividends for their shareholders, because shareholders were complaining, we're not making enough money, we're not
Mhm.
getting a return on our investment that we like. And then the next thing you know, everybody in the industry is doing the same thing.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
I mean, the longer they can hold on to the money, the more money they make, because they make money not just by not paying claims. They'll pay them eventually. They know they'll pay them eventually.
Yeah.
But actuaries have told them, if you deny this many claims, only this many are going to find a public adjuster, or this many are going to find an attorney
Oh, okay.
to help fight that claim.
Yeah.
And so you know that out of 10 claims, if they deny half of them,
Mm-hmm.
that the other half are probably not going to find a public adjuster or an attorney, because we end up with less than 2% of the claims that are out there.
Right. Ken, would you like to follow up with that?
No, I mean, Ron is spot on. I mean, he's probably, you know, he gets 2%. I probably get a quarter of that. So, you know, there is, you know, the tactics that I see from the insurance companies is it's about profit. It's about interest. You know, it's about, you know, the insurance company's new tactic is, let's put the mortgage company on every check. Right. So what does
Yes.
that do? That delays that money going into the insured's bank account so that they can begin doing the repairs. Right.
Yes.
Well, when you're $1 billion corporation, every penny that you can delay going out the door does what? Grows interest, right?
Exactly.
And so that it's all profit. It's all for profit. And
okay.
and we see that every day.
They know they're going to pay eventually.
Right.
If
Yeah.
somebody fights them, they're going to pay eventually. That's
Right.
why how many of these claims actually end up in a jury's hands?
That's right. Very,
the majority of them never
Very,
did.
very small.
Okay.
Very
So
small.
explain this whole mortgage thing. Like how does that happen? So you have an insurance company, something happens to your house, they pay the claim. Now, all of a sudden, I started hearing, I don't know, a few years ago about this whole mortgage thing. Like Explain how that came about and like why would they do something like that?
Well, the reason it originally started, to my understanding, is back in the 2003.
Around 8, 7, 8.
No, it was when the hurricanes hit Florida.
Yeah.
3, 4, and their hurricanes were hitting Florida, and what was happening is that somebody had a $2 million house on the coast.
Mm-hmm.
House is totaled, right? They get a check for $2 million, and then they're standing there going, do I take the $2 million or do I fix my house?
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
And so
Yes.
that's how the whole thing started.
Mm-hmm.
But now it's become a situation where it's not even close to that. And when I say that, what's wrong with the insurance company saying, okay, Mr. Homeowner, we're gonna pay your claim, and your claim is $20,000. So what we're going to do is we're going to protect the interest of the mortgage company. We're going to put a check with you and the mortgage company for $15,000. We're going to give you $5,000 right now so that they can start this roof today,
Mm-hmm.
right? And but that's not going to happen anymore. It's all a numbers game. On the legal side of things, the mortgage endorsement issue is a huge issue because what the insurance company is saying is we settled this claim, but they've paid no funds.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the issue that we're having right now. And so now we're having to go and we're having to fight with the mortgage company to get these people paid, right? And the insurance company, they're done. It's game over. They're done.
It's
and
out
then
of their
it
hands
takes
now.
us another 3 to 6 months to get our clients paid to do their repairs.
Okay. All right. What do you have on that?
Like he said, I don't have much to add other than we talked about this is a cash flow business for the insurance company.
Mhm.
The longer they can hold on to the cash, the more money they can make, because it's not just one claim of $15,000 or $20,000 that they're holding on to. They're holding on to thousands of claims, tens of thousands of claims
Yeah, one time.
across the country.
Right.
And so every day that money sits in a bank account, I want to say that one of the carriers said they're making 15% on their money in the state of Florida,
Mm-hmm.
just holding on to it. Why would you pay a claim fast if you're making 15%?
Of course. See, I still don't think I understand why the mortgage company is getting involved. Tell me more.
Because
about
they
that.
have an insured interest in the property.
They want to
Okay.
make sure that their property is protected.
Like the way it started, right? $2 million house gets wiped out. You have a $2 million house.
Mhm.
It gets wiped off the face of the earth, right?
You got an $800,000 mortgage.
Right.
Yeah.
With an $800,000 mortgage.
Mm-hmm.
And I give you a check for $2 million.
Yeah.
You're going to think long and hard about maybe walking away. I'm not, but
Yeah.
some people are going to think, man, I got $2 million right here. I can file bankruptcy and go live in the Bahamas.
So the insurance company's cutting the mortgage company the check. So they're not putting the check in there.
They're giving the check. They're putting the insured and the mortgage company on the check,
Okay.
even though the mortgage company is not a party to the policy at all.
Yes.
I mean, they have an interest in it because they own the home.
Right.
And I'm like I said, I'm okay with them putting them on the check sometimes,
Mm-hmm.
right? But not when it's a simple, simple roof replacement. Give them the money. Let's get the ball rolling.
Yeah.
5 years ago, the insurance company's response would be, send us a signed contract with your roofer, and we'll give you the money.
Yeah.
And then you're talking about
Or
insurance
give
claim.
the roof of the money.
Right.
Yeah, and you're talking about insurance claim, adjuster, check, done. Roof's done.
So are they coming out to inspect to see if the job is done? The mortgage company?
Mortgage
Some of them
company,
are.
sometimes, yeah.
Okay. Or is the insurance company coming out before they release the remainder of the funds?
They're supposed to, yes.
They're supposed to.
I'm not saying that it happens always because I don't work for the insurance
Yeah.
company, but they're supposed to.
Okay, because it just sounds to me like another reason, like you were saying, to hold up the money.
The whole thing is a delay tactic.
Okay.
Everything is a delay tactic, and they get very excited about, holding that money. I mean, the whole industry that we are in is run by actuaries
Yeah,
that are way smarter than all of us.
right.
And if
Well,
we
they've
delay,
been doing it a lot longer. That's why I think
Sure.
they've been playing the game a lot longer.
but if we hold these funds for one extra day across 50,000 claims
Mhm.
nationwide, we're going to make $2 million extra.
Yeah,
Yeah. And I'm
Of
just pulling
free
those
money.
numbers. I'm just pulling those numbers out of my
Free money.
Yeah.
pocket. But you
Right.
understand the theory is
Of course.
it makes sense.
Yeah. totally.
And you don't ever hear anybody on the other side saying to all these adjusters, we need to pay claims faster. You never hear that.
No,
We say it,
Yeah.
but they don't say it. And
No.
and what is my wish? My wish is every insurance company pays every claim, and and I have to find something else to do with my life. That's what I would like to do.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's admirable of you.
It'll never happen.
Yeah.
No.
Doubt.
There's too much money
No doubt.
involved.
No doubt. So, if I needed to get a hold of you, what is the best way to reach out to you guys?
So they can call my office, 817-969-4621 or nationalclaimsnegotiators.com. Either one will get you into our portal that will help you with a claim.
National Claims
Negotiators.
Negotiators.com. And how about yourself, Ken?
So the best way to get a hold of us would be to call our office, 832-415-1432, or you can go to our website, C as in Charlie, WilsonLaw.com.
Awesome, man. I appreciate you both coming on the show. If anyone, what's up? Look down. What? Oh, there's questions. Oh, I can't. I have no monitor to see. Yeah, the monitors are all out there.
Who are the questions?
Yeah.
Hey, we need to get that guy on up here on the stage too.
Let's see what we got going on here.
Oh my goodness, we got a lot of questions.
Okay, right here's the first question. David Taggart, my man David says, what can we as roofing contractors do to educate homeowners in what to do when a mortgage company decides to withhold money from the policyholder? And is it in compliance with the Fair Claims and Settlement Act for mortgages to do that? Great freaking question, David Taggart.
That's a twofer.
Yeah. So why don't we start with you, Ken?
So the mortgage company withholds money for two reasons. One, the client is behind on their mortgage, and that's a problem because they're not going to release those funds. Two, they're waiting for you to take the steps because, you know, when you're replacing a roof, they kind of pay you in like 25% increments. And so what you need to do is communicate with them and find out what those increments are. And most mortgage companies do send out somebody to reinspect to make sure it's done. And I've seen it where they pay it on 25%. So I've seen where they say, here's 50%, go replace the roof, we'll replace, and then we'll pay you the rest. But, you know, the only real reason I've seen that mortgage companies won't pay out the money is if the insured is behind on their mortgage.
And every insurance or every mortgage company is going to have different steps that they want you to go by. So just because you think you know what the process is with Bank of America, that doesn't mean Wells Fargo is going to require the same thing because they're going to require something different, or Chase or whoever it is with that mortgage. And you're going to have to ask and learn those steps for every single mortgage company out there.
David, was that a good answer?
So the mortgage company,
that's not a claim.
The mortgage company is not affected by the fair claims. They can do whatever they want to.
But that's not part of the claim.
That's
the
not
money's
part of the
been
claim.
paid.
Just because the mortgage company has it does not mean they have to do anything with it at that point in time.
Cool. No, that's good.
They don't abide by the same rules and regulations.
That was a great question because
great question.
I don't know as much as you guys do because we're up north here, but man, these guys got some golden nuggets here, man, for real.
Well, that was one of the things that I talked to you about earlier. Texas roofing contractors. You know, I've never met Jen Silver, but I like her stuff. She talks about doing the retail stuff, and you know, we got to learn in Texas how to do that. Deductibles are way too high. ACV money is ridiculous now on residential claims. And so if you're not learning how to offer financing, you're going to be way behind the times when it all comes to an end.
Yeah, no, that's a good thought. My belief about that is, so the construction company that we have, we offer financing. We're mostly in the retail space, but if we were going to open up a location in Florida or Texas, I think that we would definitely be offering financing, just whether for whatever reason you said the deductibles are too high, or let's just say the insurance company denies the claim or is holding up the process of getting paid. Like you said, Jen's kind of got a good theory on, okay, why not have them finance the job? And then when the insurance, when the insurance money comes in, then they can just pay the the financing off. So that's definitely a good point there. Yeah. So
Yeah.
any other questions out there from anybody? Is there any other questions in there? In here anywhere? I thought David was telling me my zipper was down. I was like, how the hell can you see my zipper's down? X-ray vision there. I was nervous there. I was like, holy shit, this whole time? Anyone else from the crowd out there that's got any questions?
Oh,
Yeah,
boy.
who's that?
Oh, boy.
Who would that be?
We don't put a label on that. We have several excellent public adjusters that work for us.
Ron, the answer is your wife.
My wife's the number one seller.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I was going to say. The question is they wanted to know who the best salesperson was. And I'm going to say person for the national claims experts. Negotiator. Sorry about that. Who is the best salesperson? Was it your wife?
Yes, I'm going to go with my wife.
Okay. Hey, good answer, bro. Hopefully she's watching. And any other questions? Because I like the questions here, and I don't think I see any other comments in here anywhere.
So we're going to charge based on when we get involved. Generally, it's 10% of the claim, depending on the state. And we like to be involved as soon as there's a dispute with the insurance company. That way we can get it done quicker rather than it taking forever. That's generally what we hear complaints about in the industry, is it taking forever. Well, if you get us a year and a half after the claim happened, it's going to take us longer to get it done than if you got us in 90 to 120 days after it happened.
Yeah.
As a roofer, what does the paperwork involved in calling the insurance company? Do you reduce the paperwork, or do you add paperwork, or how does it benefit the roofer to with the public adjuster, working with the public adjuster?
Yeah, that's a good question too. Why would it benefit a roofing contractor to go with a public adjuster? Is that close enough? Okay.
It's time, value, and money. If you spend 6 months on a claim fighting with the insurance company and you get $25,000, but we spend 6 months fighting with the insurance company and get you $25,000, did you make more or less money? You're going to make more money because you spent time out in the field selling something else, doing the next job.
A good roofing salesman, instead of doing that third or that fourth reinspection, how many more contracts can they ink?
That's
in
exactly
that time?
right.
Yeah.
And that's the secret.
It's never like the insurance company calls you and says, we're going to be there at 1 o'clock. No, they say we're going to be there 12 to 5 on Tuesday. And then you show up, spend 5 hours there, and they were like, I didn't make it. I'll be there on Thursday. That just wasted your whole afternoon of time selling.
Yeah. It definitely seems like a tough racket.
And my last question is, how come nobody's ever heard of a public adjuster? Why? It just makes all the sense in the world.
Yeah.
I've heard of a public adjuster. and my question to you is, why are you not moderating this thing?
Yeah. No, it's good questions. Definitely good questions. So these guys definitely know their shit. So once again, why don't we give yourself a plug? Give us your website. Give us your phone number if anyone needs a public adjuster.
Nationalclaimsnegotiators.com. And our phone number for our office is 817-969-4621.
And how about yourself, Ken?
Thank you again, Ty.
You're welcome.
Chad T. Wilson Law Firm. We are nationwide our main office is based out of Houston, Texas, but we have offices all over the country. And to reach us, number for the main office is 832-415-1432. And the email address, or the website address, is C as in Charlie, WilsonLaw.com.
Awesome, man. Thank you guys so much.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you, Ken.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate
you,
it.
Ron.
Enjoyed it.
Yep. You guys have a great week. Thank you for coming on Beyond the Tool Belt. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Have a great week, and we'll probably see you about 8 more times.